In this lecture, we're going to learn how to draw the human head in profile view. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I like to do when I'm drawing the head is I always start off with the circle because that's the basic shape of the human head. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that in like so. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add in my jawline. So my jawline is going to be down here about like so. And so then we're going to bring it up like this. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that across the front like so and sort of curve it. So we need to draw this basic shape with a circle and then sort of a curved trapezoid type of shape down here at the bottom for my jawline and my chin. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add in my neck. So the neck is going to come in just a little bit underneath this curve right here on the back of the head. We'll go ahead and add that in like so. And then this part is going to start about there. And depending on whether you're doing a guy or a girl or how muscular your character is, that's going to determine how thick your neck will be. Next, we're going to go ahead and find out where the middle of this face is so we know where to put our eyes. So I'm thinking right about here is where my eye should be. All right, perfect. Next, I want to go ahead and find my 2/3 point. So I'm going to go ahead and find the 2/3 point down here. And then find the 1/3 point right about there, maybe a little bit lower, just like so. So now I know where my nose and my lips are going to go, and my eyes. Next, we want to go ahead and draw the profile contouring line shape of the head. So starting right here, we're going to start with the brow. So we want to come in just a little bit from this line we've already drawn, and then we're going to pop that out like so. And depending on what your character looks like, that's going to determine how the brow needs to be shaped. If it's a guy, the brow might be a little bit bigger and protrude a little bit more, meaning it'll come out a little bit more. And if it's a girl, it might be less strong. So let's go ahead and draw that in, and then it's going to come up and curve up into the top of the head like so. So now we have our brow. Next, let's go ahead and add the nose. So the nose is going to just come off like so. And a lot of people have the misconception that it's like the number 7, and that's because the number 7 is kind of the basic shape of a nose. You can actually sketch in the number 7 upside down if you want to, and use that as a base. But then you want to take that a little bit further. So you have the top face of the nose, and then you want to go ahead and add in this face right here, which is sort of not the bottom face, but it's sort of an under face of the nose. And then that needs to come around and curve in to the lips like so. And then we can go ahead and add in those nostrils. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a curved line underneath there like so. And then you can add the top of the nostril just like this. And then let's go ahead and add in the lips. So the lips start at the top of the nose, and then they're going to go ahead and just come down and curve like so down to where your lips need to be. And since this is a guy, we're going to make his chin a little bit bigger by bringing his lips up just a little bit. So we're going to start the top of the lips right here, and we'll go ahead and add the bottom part of the lips right there. And the bottom part of the lips are basically just going to be almost like a raindrop shape, and then the top of them are going to be sort of like a triangle, like so. And then we could go ahead and add in that chin. So there's the under part of the mouth that comes in like so. And then the bottom part of the chin is going to go ahead and protrude out like this. And then we can go ahead and finish drawing in our jawline. So it's going to come all the way across like so. So the bottom part is a straight part, and then it curves as it gets underneath the ear. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that up into the ear, which then we need to find out where the ear needs to be placed. So the ear needs to be placed a little bit over from the middle of the head. So probably right about here is where we need to place it. And then we can go ahead and draw that ear in. So it's going to be on that line. And we want to make sure that it's just lined up with the eye, the top of the eye. So the top of the eye will be about there. So the ear needs to stop about there. So now we can go ahead and draw that in, and the bottom of the ear needs to line up with the bottom of the nose. So I apologize for not marking those before we got started, but the ear needs to start somewhere about down here and end somewhere up here. So now we can go ahead and draw that in. Then we can go ahead and add in some of that detail for the ear. All right, great. So now we have our ear. Let's go ahead and move on to adding the eye. Now the eye from a side view is different from an eye from the front view. Basically, you slice your eye in half with a curved line. So if this is our regular eye like so, and then we have the cornea and the pupil. Well, if you were looking at this from the side, you'd basically slice it with a curved line. Now, this isn't exact, but that's basically what we're doing. So let me show you what I mean. So the eye needs to come in just a little bit further, just barely past this edge of the nose. So we can start our eye right about there. And we're going to go ahead and draw a curved line like this. And then we're going to go ahead and start drawing in the shape of our eye. So the shape of our eye is going to start at the same level that the top of our ear is on. And we're going to go ahead and draw that in like so. So there's the top of our eye. Then we need to do the bottom of our eye, which is basically going to be a straight line coming off. And it might be a little bit slanted. And then we can go ahead and draw the colored part of our eye. So that's going to be an oval basically, like so. Then we're going to go ahead and add in our eyebrows. So I'm going to add in my eyebrow right about there. And since this is going to be a guy, the eyebrow is going to be a lot bigger and thicker, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my hair. So the hairline is going to start about there on this character. And then it's going to come down like so. And if we're looking at the hairline from a side view, this is what it does. It comes back like this. And then there's sort of a rectangle right here. And then that rectangle turns into our sideburns, like so. And then this comes around behind the head and then comes down the neck. And then that's our hairline. Now we can go ahead and create whatever type of shape we want for the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and create sort of a slicked back hair type of a look. Just like so. And the hair isn't always pressed right up against the skull. So you can have this come out quite a bit away from the skull shape. And because this is a male, we can go ahead and add in a pretty strong Adam's apple. So first off, we're going to have a line that kind of comes off our jawline like so. And then it's going to turn into our Adam's apple. So we'll add in that Adam's apple right there. And then we're going to go ahead and have that come down. And then we also want to add a little bit of muscle into the neck. And so there's a very large muscle that goes right here that extends across the whole neck. And we can even thicken our neck like so, because I think this guy should be a little bit bigger. All right, great. Now we can go ahead and erase away some of these guidelines, and then we can start adding in some highlights and shadows and more detail to make this look more realistic. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So first off, I'm going to darken in my eye, and I might even reshape that just a little bit so it's coming off a little bit straighter. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some shadow underneath the eye, because this is a form and the light is coming from the top, so it's going to be creating some shadow underneath there. And then we're going to go ahead and start adding some detail for the cheekbone. So with the guy, a cheekbone is very prominent on this front side like so. And there's going to be a little bit of prominence on this side of the cheekbone, but most of it is going to be right here in the front. And I might have that a little bit too dark. Then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the nose. We want to add some shadow on this bottom side of the nose. And then we can go ahead and add some darkening to the eyebrows, just like so. And we can also add a little bit more of an eyelid on the bottom side of his eye. Just like so. And maybe a little bit more shadow underneath here. And then that also, we want to make sure that we add in some more form on this edge of his head. And then let's go ahead and move on to the lips. So the top part of the lips are going to get some shadow. Then we're going to see a little bit of this edge right here from the side of the mouth. And then we can also add shadow on the underside of the bottom lip. It's just like so. And then we're going to go ahead and add some shadow to the bottom side of this jawline, because as it curves underneath, there's going to be some shadow. Just like so. And then we can bring this shadowing from his cheekbone further down into his face, so all the way down into here. And then we can go ahead and draw his ear in just a little bit darker, add some more detail in there. And then we're going to add a shadow underneath this ear, just like so. You can also add some shadowing on his neck muscle and underneath his Adam's apple, and a little bit of shadowing here also. You want to keep that pretty light without very hard edges. And then we can go ahead and detail in his hair. So I'm just going to quickly add in some lines for his hair. It's just slicked back, so it's pretty simple. Then on his sideburns, it might be a lot shorter hair, so I'm going to add those short hairs in. And we'll continue to slick his hair back all the way to the back of his head, where his hair might get a little bit shorter. All right, perfect. So now we've drawn a male face from the profile view. I hope you really learned something from this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one where we're going to go ahead and learn how to draw each individual part of the face. So we're going to learn how to draw the eye, the nose, the lips, and the ear, as well as how to draw hair. Thanks for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you in that next lecture.